Hey guys, let me know as you come in if you can hear me okay. It's kind of stormy looking here, so I'm hoping that the internet will hold up for our exciting live today. As always, I'm Nina Hart. I'm the president of the National Nurses in Business Association, celebrating 40 years of nurse entrepreneurship and career alternatives. And I'm going to talk today about why it's never too soon to say yes to yourself and just give some kind of conference insights about why you may want to come to the conference, why it may benefit you, and also I'm going to do some free t-shirt giveaways to our early bird ticket holders. So I'm super excited about that. As always, the chat is open, so drop your comments, say hi, and I'll go ahead and get started, and then we'll do some giveaways throughout. So what I really wanted to talk about is a lot of people have asked me, asked Casey, asked other nurses who are considering, should I go to a conference like this? Not even just the NNBA conference, like any conference where you're like, ooh, this is a commitment. Not only is this travel, but it's going to cost me money, right? And I'm going to maybe have to request off of work, or maybe it's unknown. Is this really going to be worth my return on investment? Is it going to be worth the time I'm taking off? Is it going to be worth what I'm paying for it? And so I think it's important to consider some of those questions because it is, for some people, a big commitment. I remember the first time I signed up for it. I do think, during COVID, I did the virtual options, and that was less of a scary commitment to, join a Zoom stream is less scary. However, it's still a big time commitment. So if you paid for a virtual conference and you don't join any of it, you're like, man, you're out that money. So you're committing to watch that, and even further than that, taking another step and committing to actually doing it. So it's really important to consider this as an investment in yourself, instead of saying, oh, I'm putting this out there, and what if I just lose all that money, right? What if I pay for this and I travel there and I can't do it? Either I'm afraid I can't implement it, I'm afraid that none of it will be for me, or I'm afraid that I won't immediately turn around the money that I put into it. And realistically, that same day or the next day, you probably won't immediately turn around that revenue unless you implement something in real time at the conference. And I have done that before. I have been there listening to people talking about ideas and had that light come on, that brainstorm, and said, ooh, I could implement this one simple tactic really, really simply to make some more revenue for my business, or to change my services, and been able to do that in real time. So I have seen this type of event be very lucrative and have a great return on investment. And I think that's not always the case, but I do think that when you come in that mindset that there is something here for me, then there's something there for you. So it's never too early to say yes. We've had a lot of people asking, how do I know it's not too soon in the process? I haven't even started my business, or I don't know what my business is going to offer, or I don't even have clients yet. Is it too soon for me to come to the NNBA conference? And to that, we say absolutely not. So many stories of the millionaire business people that I follow, especially online business people, started by attending a summit or started by attending a conference. And once you're in that environment and you realize the possibility, and you're kind of exposed to that, that mindset, that collectiveness, that collection of people who are all doing the thing, and in that energy, there is something about that kind of in the quantum realm, like collapses time and starts seeing momentum that you might not have seen without that. So even if you're very early on in your business stage, you are probably, if it's even there, if it's even like maybe I should go. I kind of want to do something. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure how it's going to look. This may be the perfect time for you to go, because what you're going to get from that conference is, number one, that inspiration and support, that motivation that you can do it. Other people just like you are doing it. And also those ideas and that innovation that other people at the NNBA conference bring. I don't think I've ever been to a conference before that had such substance and meat. The speakers aren't just getting up talking about motivational speaking, they're getting up and sharing what they've actually done in their business that worked. And I think that is super, super impactful, is to be able to learn about what these other nurses that have been doing that's working, and how did they pivot when it wasn't working. So I think that's a big part of it, that brings a lot of value. And so that's part of it. That's my favorite part personally, is that you get that behind the scenes true insight into the background of what other nurses are doing. And so I think that's really one of the most helpful things that I have found. So I personally don't feel like you can be too early, and still, not benefit from what we're talking about, what you're hearing, what you're learning. Because even if you don't have a business or a product yet, some of these things will be huge for you. Some of these things, could help you figure that out right there, could help you make that decision. And so I think that's really why I think you can never start too early. I think you need that. You need that insight that maybe you wouldn't get from the current people you're around. If you're not surrounded by a bunch of nurses who are doing their own thing, if all your friends are at the hospital or at the nursing home or at the doctor's office, that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm glad for that, but they are not able to give you the insights on what you want to do. So just like anything else in your life, if you want to be a millionaire and you don't hang around millionaires, you won't know what millionaires are doing, right? So you have to surround yourself with the people that you really want to be like. So I'm going to do real quickly here. Hope this is working. Oh, yeah. I'm going to do one of our early bird giveaways. So I'm going to spin this exciting wheel. I have all the names in here of all of our early bird ticket holders. And our first winner is Katarina Jones. Yay! Awesome. Well, Katarina, you will be receiving an email from us at NNBA with some requests for your address and shirt size. And we will be sending you an exclusive NNBA This Nurse Means Business NNBA 2025 t-shirt. Super excited. They're super soft. They're really pretty color. And they say, "This nurse means business. NNBA 2025. So our first winner is Katarina Jones. All right. How to know if this is the right time for you. So I'll kind of talk about if you're in a season of your business where you're like, man, is this in the budget, right? Should I be doing this? And I've been there before where it's like, is this an investment I can make right now? I don't really know, right? So if you're in the startup phase and you either have inconsistent clients or you're trying to get your name out there and you're really trying to establish yourself as a business, it can be unsure of whether you should. And I would say go with your gut for the most part. If you feel the nudge, like I'm supposed to be in that room, you probably are. And you can choose to make that happen. If you feel like this isn't the right time because I really, truly don't have the capacity, either the capacity to be open to learn the content, the capacity to network and be surrounded by people who are doing other things, or the capacity financially to compensate for missed work or the travel, then I would say that you're not ready at that point, right? So I would never encourage anyone who's like, I really can't afford this, to be like, you got to do it, right? Well, you need to make that decision. Is this something you can do? And I will push back on you a little bit and say, a lot of people say they can't do a lot of things, right? And if you think you can, or if you think you can't, you're right. But I believe that we decide what we can or cannot do based on a lot of different variables. Fear happens to be one of them. And you really need to know that there are probably a lot of financial choices that you're making that you could evenly exchange for this. So there's a lot of things we choose to can, and a lot of things we choose to can't. So you just have to choose that this is one of the things you can do, right? So if you feel like you have that gut instinct that you need to be in the room and that this is the next step for you, then I would say make it happen. And that is something that for me, I am in this wind tunnel right now of, if I'm supposed to do it, I will make it work, right? If I feel like it's for me, then I'm going to make this happen. And if you feel like it's for you, I would suggest that you do what you can to make it happen. If you feel like, I don't really know if this is the right time, or if you talk to your partner, or if you look at your budget, or if you feel like maybe I'm not ready to move forward with a business, I'm not ready to put myself out there yet, then you're probably right. This probably isn't the right time, because you really do have to be ready to kind of make a commitment. You really do have to be ready to invest in yourself. On some level, even if it's not money, even if money was an unlimited resource for you, you still have to be willing to invest the time, the capacity, and putting yourself out there. That's an ego investment, right? That's a risk that you could be embarrassed, or you could feel inadequate, right? And that's something we all have to work through in our own mindset and in our own experiences of what are you willing to do, right? And if you're not willing to take a few steps forward, then don't do that, right? If you feel like I just am not at a place where I can take that risk of putting myself out there, then I would suggest that you probably wait until you feel like it's more aligned. But if you're craving connection with nurses who are dreaming of doing something different, want to do something big, want to build, 6 and 7 figure businesses and live a life of freedom and flexibility, you will be welcome in this room. It's going to be really positive energy, really supportive energy. It's one of my favorite things about it. These people in this room, not just the NNBA advisory board members, but everyone in that room is committed to you succeeding and wants you to succeed and is out there cheerleading you. And I do find that there are not many rooms that you could be in that I could say the same thing about. So I think that that is one thing that I really love about the NNBA. And I strongly, strongly believe you don't need more time. You don't need more time to get ready. You will never be ready for this. There is no ready. That's not a real place. You need to be in the right room with the right people, taking the right next step, right? It's one thing. So if you feel stuck, if you feel isolated, if you feel confused or unsure of what you're supposed to be doing, and this ain't it, what your job, what you're currently doing is not it, then you probably should check it out and see there is something else. There is something that's it for you, and you're just not in the right place yet. So before I move on to our last section, I'm going to do another shirt giveaway. So our first giveaway was Katarina Jones. We're going to email you and ask you for, I should have clicked remove, clearly. We're going to email you and ask you for your information, so your address and your shirt size. So if you're not live and you're watching this later, don't stress. So we're going to email you and get the information. Okay, our next giveaway winner is, drumroll please, Victoria Russell. All right, Victoria Russell. Again, you are winning a exclusive This Nurse Means Business NNBA 2025 T-shirt. Really excited about that. You can probably see a giant box of them behind me. So we've got some exclusive T-shirts. This is our 40th year of supporting nurse entrepreneurs and career alternatives. Blah. And really excited about the conference this year. And so I'm just answering some questions. If you just joined, I'm talking about how to know it's the right time and why it's never too early to say yes to investing in yourself. And then now I'm going to just real quick talk about kind of what to expect and what you'll experience. So that first day is the pre-conferences. So if you've never been to the pre-cons, what I love about them is they are much more in-depth workshop style content. So if you've ever been to a conference, you know there's maybe 30-minute to an hour sessions, and it's a very high level coverage of the topic. I will say, and I did say earlier, the NNBA has the meatiest I feel like I've ever been to of conference material where you actually really get some insights instead of just a review of what you already knew. So I do feel really good about that. But the sessions that we have during the conference on the 18th and the 19th, so during the main conference Friday and Saturday, those are those shorter, high-level overviews of different topics. Like we have breakout sessions on Friday, so those are a little bit shorter. But that Thursday, those are workshop-style pre-conference sessions that are 3.5 hours long. So they're 8 a.m. to 11:30 or 1 to 4:30. And so there's Luis Jakubik is doing Starting Your Education Business. And that is an amazing pre-con talking about how to build either courses or workshops or in-person education, which I think is really, really hot right now. I will say, I think this is one of the best avenues nurses can go into as an education business. So Luis Jakubik has hers Thursday morning at 8 a.m. And then I am in the room opposite of her. I'm doing building consulting packages that convert. We had over 30 nurses in the room for this last year, and it was amazing. It was a phenomenal experience. So I'm very excited to be doing it again. We're talking about pricing models and strategies for consulting packages. Again, this is extremely lucrative right now for nurses. To anywhere between $5,000 and $50,000 contract opportunities, how to price that, how to come about your ideal client, your ideal services, and then put that together in a proposal that's going to convert for that client and really serve them well. And then in the afternoon on Thursday, we have Stella. She is doing Elder Care Nurse Millionaire, which I'm really excited that she's doing. She has a phenomenal response to her trainings, and she is just one of the most knowledgeable and truly humble people to train with. She is really just shares everything that she can about what she can do to help. And so I love that. And then Michelle Podlesny, the previous president of the NNBA, is doing her Marketing You from Pitch to Profit pre-con, which I attended myself in 2023 and was amazing. I still have the workbook. I still reference the workbook. It helps you build out your marketing and sales strategies. So if you are one of those nurses who's like, I don't know how to market and I don't like to sell, this is super, super targeted. And it's 3 hours of literally building out your elevator pitch, your ideal customer, understanding why they buy, why they don't buy, and how to deliver a better value as well as message your products so that you can confidently promote yourself. So those are Thursday. Those are the pre-cons. Then Thursday night, we have the meet and greet. I'm really excited about that, the networking. So a little drinks, a little beverages, and a little charcuterie type of appetizers. I'm really excited. That's always fun. I would love to see you there. If you're coming to the conference, please, please, please make sure I see you on Thursday night. We're going to have fun. We're going to do some different things for our 40th year, and I would really love everybody to be there. And then for the main conference, those are the large, like I said, Friday, we have some breakout sessions. So in the morning, we'll do our keynote address with Sunny Linebarger. She is a coach, a consultant, and the host of Evoke Greatness podcast, and she's the CEO of Cadre Hospice. I'm really excited. She's going to be talking about the power of possibility, which I think is super, super impactful for nurse entrepreneurs. And then we're going to do our breakout sessions from 10:45 to 11:30, and then from 11:30 to 12:15. So we've got a couple different breakout sessions you can choose from. Then we'll go into lunch, and then we'll be talking about some other main stage topics, key legal and practical considerations for nurse entrepreneurs. I think that's going to be really good content. And then Donna Cardello finishing out the day with power networking, which I'm really, really excited about because I think that's going to be so impactful for nurses. And then the following day, the last day, we'll have main stage sessions all day, and wrap up with Charisse Williams, a friend of mine in the holistic space. She's a holistic health coach and business consultant. She'll be talking about how to keep the passion and purpose in your business as we go out into the world from the conference. So I am super excited about this year's lineup, about the quality of the speakers, and just about the value that's going to be there for you guys. So hopefully that helped answer some questions for you. But you'll really be in a space that's going to help you get clarity, not just inspiration, but the networking, the connections, and the content will really help, I believe, move your business forward in a real way. So I'm excited. And for our last, I'm going to do the last drawing, and then we're done for the day. All right. Let me get back to my wheel o' names here. Hopefully you can see that. Let me make sure. Yep. Okay. Here we go. These are all of our early bird ticket holders here. Lola Arvind. Awesome. I got to talk to Lola. That's amazing. I'm excited. We'll make sure and send you an email. We'll get your address and your shirt size, and you will get a exclusive custom NNBA 2025 This Nurse Means Business t-shirt. And we're excited to see you guys all at the 2025 NNBA Conference in Las Vegas, July 17th through 19th. If you need any information on that, please let me know. You can see the conference agenda here on the website, nursesbusiness.com. 2025 conference, there's a little tab right at the top. You can reserve your ticket. You can look at the agenda. You can look at the pre-cons I was talking about, see which one of those might be a good fit for you. And you can always email me or Casey or support@nursesbusiness.com if you have any questions.